morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the President and the Council of the Nigerian-British Chamber of Commerce, I welcome you all to this event, Meet the Governor of Ondo State, Investments and Business Opportunities. Permit me to therefore specially welcome His Excellency, the Governor of Ondo State, Arakunrin Rotimi Akeredolu, and his team. My name is Wole Oshin. I'm the chairman. I'm the chairman of the programs committee. Thank you. Thank you very much. I will now welcome the President and Chairman of Council of the Nigerian-British Chamber of Commerce, Mrs. Bisi Adeyemi, to give her welcome address.
Thank you very much, Mr. Oshin. Your Excellency, Arakunrin Akeredolu, the Governor of Ondo State, I'm delighted to welcome you to the October 2021 edition of the NBCC Meet the Governor series. We're particularly delighted to welcome you once again to the NBCC. I'm also pleased to recognize all the Ondo State officials joining us this morning, including Mr. Boye Oyewumi, CEO, Ondo State Development and Investment Promotion Agency, ONDIPA. I welcome our patrons, past presidents, council and ESCO members, other members of the Nigerian Chamber of Commerce, our distinguished guests and members of the press. We're delighted to thank and recognize our sponsor, Sterling Bank PLC, for the generous support. I warmly welcome the MD of Sterling Bank, Mr. Abubakar Suleiman, who is also on the call this afternoon. Today's webinar offers an opportunity for His Excellency to showcase Ondo State to the global investment community. We have in the past hosted Ogun and Lagos states and intend to extend this initiative to other states in an effort to provide our members and the general public first-hand information on the investment opportunities available across Nigeria. Before we proceed, please allow me to introduce the Nigerian-British Chamber of Commerce to members of the audience who are not familiar with us. The Nigerian-British Chamber of Commerce is the foremost bilateral chamber in Nigeria, and it was established in 1977 to promote the trade and investment between Nigeria and Britain. The NBCC is affiliated to the British Chamber of Commerce, which gives members beneficial access to a network of 53 chambers across the UK and 71 other international affiliates. The chamber carries out various activities targeted at the promotion of trade, investment, advocacy, business incubation, training, and business networking. We were recently honored to host His Excellency when he graciously commissioned our ultra-modern headquarters, the NBCC Plaza. I must use this opportunity to acknowledge the immense contributions of eminent indigenes of the state who have served the chamber meritoriously in various capacities over the years, and in particular, our immediate past president, Mr. Kayode Falowo, Chairman, Greenwich Merchant Bank. Your Excellency and distinguished guests, today's event is in alignment with one of the cardinal objectives of the chamber, which is the promotion of trade and investment between Nigeria and other nations, and in particular, the United Kingdom. Nigeria is one of the most attractive investment destinations in Africa. We believe that this event will provide a great opportunity for participants to identify opportunities for collaboration with Ondo State. Though it requires no introduction, please permit me to briefly introduce our special guest this afternoon, His Excellency Arakunrin Oluwarosimi Odunayo Akeredolu, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. His Excellency obtained a law degree from the University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University, in 1977, and proceeded to the Nigerian Law School for his BL in 1978. He was called to the Nigerian Bar in 1978. Arakunrin Akeredolu was the managing partner at the law firm Olujimi and Akeredolu, a firm he co-founded with Chief Akin Olujimi, former Attorney General and Minister of Justice. Arakunrin Akeredolu served as Attorney General of Ondo State between 1997 and 1999. In 1998, he was conferred with the title of Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Arakunrin served the NBA in various capacities, both at branch and national level. He was elected NBA President in 2008. His Excellency was first elected the Governor of Ondo State in November 2016 and re-elected for his second term in October 2020. We're indeed delighted to have His Excellency join us this afternoon. It is also my pleasure to introduce Ms. Anne Reno, the chairperson of the NBCC Advocacy Committee and the head of Property Standard Chartered Bank for Nigeria and West Africa. Ms. Reno will be moderating the session. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your attention, and I have the pleasure to hand over to His Excellency Arakunrin Oluwarosimi Akeredolu, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, to make his presentation. Your Excellency.
NBCC for the invitation to this webinar. And as Madam President has said, President and Chairman of Council, in our opening remark, undoubtedly, we have a relationship, and I'm happy that we're able to sustain this. I was with you some time ago, as she said, when I was there to open your newly completed plaza. I was happy to be there, and I thank you. And I want to use this opportunity again to thank the immediate past President and Chairman, Kayode Falowo, and illustrious son of our state. I must thank him for the honor he's done me over time, at least, and the honor NBCC has done me. Let me just say this before I continue. No doubt, I would have loved to stay the whole day here for this program, but I don't have a private jet, and I'm going on a scheduled flight. So you will permit me at the point in time when I'm informed that the plane has landed, that I will have to leave. And Mr. Boye will take over from that time. But I hope before that time, just as Wale Oshin has said, we'll be able to take few questions before I leave. I pray so. As you know, Ondo State in Southwest, in terms of population of this country, we rank number 20 because we have a population of about 5 million as at the last count. We are the 13th largest economy in Nigeria. And that puts us as one of the largest in West Africa comparatively. Our economy is dominated, let me say this, by oil and gas and agriculture, and they account for over 80% of our state GDP. Because we have a rich vegetation, we are involved in large production of cash crops. We rank first in cocoa, fifth in oil palm, fourth in cassava, and the top 10 as producers in the production of rubber, maize, cashew nut, kola nut, and yam in the country. We are richly blessed, and we are not. We thank God for this. Our climatic condition gives us opportunity for all these agrarian pursuits. We are home to most exotic timber in Nigeria. Our forests, we have teak, melina, and other indigenous trees that dots all the landscape of Ondo State. So let me not miss out this fact that there's in existence in Ondo State what we call Queen's Plot, which was dedicated by Her Majesty, the Queen Elizabeth of England II, on a visit to her state in 1956. This particular plot has been considered as one of the most biodiverse locations in Nigeria. We have about 75-kilometer continuous Atlantic Ocean coastline, and that accounts for the longest coastline in any state in Nigeria, the longest. We propose to have a deep sea port, which we have Christine Port of Ondo. We want to, that also will allow for aqua tourism and the blue economy. We also account for large deposits of variety of fish, and there are other remarkable opportunities to investors in the blue economy. There are many reasons why you might want to invest in Ondo State. But before I go to those reasons, let me mention the fact that we have the largest deposit of bitumen in the whole of West Africa. There are not many places we have deep bitumen anyway. And we have the second largest deposit of deep bitumen in the whole world. So ours is open-ended and everybody is welcome. But there might be reason for you want to come to Ondo State if you want to come. We are a nodal state in that there is proximity to all the 6 geopolitical zones and commercial nerves in the country. Ondo State connects everybody. Yes, here we boast of the fact that we have high level of intellectuals here and skilled labor. There is presence in Ondo State today, a one-stop shop. And Madam President has mentioned our CEO, who will continue when I leave, and that is Boye Oyewumi, Esquire. ONDIPA, that is Ondo State Development and Investment Promotion Agency, is a one-stop shop. Anybody wants to invest in Ondo State, just call on them, and whatever you need is settled in no time. And we boast of the fact that today we rank high, very high in the ease of doing business. Ondo State is home to the leading technological university, and that is Federal University of Technology, Akure, which we call FUTA. So you have access to people who can assist in many things. There is availability of mineral resources, and not only bitumen here. We have kaolin, we have silica sand that has given rise to what we did for years, although we're now trying to have a rebirth. And that has to do with Oluwa glass industry. It was the foremost glass industry in this country because we have a silica sand. We have limestone untapped in the whole of Ose local government. It's all limestone. And I've mentioned bitumen. We have gold and iron ore. There are many things you can invest on in Ondo State. I've said about bitumen, the largest. We are home today to the fastest growing airport in terms of passenger traffic in Southwest. Accra Airport today, we have about 3 airlines that are almost all fully booked. That's why I will have to leave on time before I miss my flight. So almost all fully booked, all year round. So they move from Lagos to Akure, Abuja to Akure, and back to and fro. So we are outside Lagos. Ondo State airport is designated as a cargo airport. And the opportunities are there for those who want to invest so that you can move your goods from the airport and off. And we have so many creeks. There are what we call our inland waterways, which we are developing. So you can move your goods with barges to any port. But by the time we have Port of Ondo, there's no need for it to move to another port. Port of Ondo is there, will be accessible. Today, we are the largest producer or supplier of tomatoes to the Lagos metropolitan area. We went to tomato production. We are out of circumstance, and this we have done, and it has yielded a greatly for the benefit of Southwest. So tomato is something we are good at. Now, we took a great step forward on oil palm production. And we have said, yes, there are many gold here and there, but ours is Christine Red Gold. So our Red Gold initiative is targeted at oil palm sector. And this is moving in a manner and so fast that we think that we should be able to cope with it, but it's moving at a faster speed than we expected. So this initiative, we have dedicated over 60,000 hectares of new plantation, making it the largest in terms of acreage in Nigeria. Today, tourism industry is one area that the state, you can invest in the state. We have spoken about the Atlantic shores and the blue sea line that we have a lot. And we have so many remarkable landmarks, and we have that rich history that it to take on. And one of them, we have Idonre Hill, we have Ebumi Lake, we have Igbo Olodumare, we have Oke Maria, and other areas of huge potential for tourism. We can boast of the fact that we are one of the most peaceful and serene environment in Nigeria of today, because we have a multi-layered security architecture, and the nearest of which is Amotekun Core, and we are proud of it. So there are a lot of, you know better than myself, the effect of COVID-19, both on national and sub-national economies. And no doubt, there's need for us to develop other areas, and urgent and crucial development can only be achieved through partnership with the private sector that I believe you people, the MBCC represent. And that is a partnership with the private sector. Initially, it was what led us to ONDIPA, Ondo State Development and Investment Promotion Agency. So that we can seek development partners, private sector investors, and diaspora locally, and other international communities. Today, ONDIPA's efforts have yielded a number of development. We have Ondoli Industrial Park, which now boasts of at least 6 industries there. There is the Nigeria Content Development and Management Board oil and gas park. This is being developed now at our not far from our inland waterways. So we have the industrial park, on which Nigeria's largest privately owned inland LPG storage facility will be located, owned by Calis. There is the ongoing Sunshine Egg Powder Factory, which is the only one in sub-Saharan Africa with capacity for 1 million eggs daily to be processed as to egg powder. All these were midwifed by Ondo since we came into office. And our partnership with private sector has expedited our dream of producing bitumen locally. As I said, we have Southwest bitumen that is working so hard, and I'm sure they will go into production very soon. And importation of bitumen will be a journey the past in this country. So beyond our industrial collaboration, the state has embarked on strategic interventions to aid investment and development. And one of the highlights being our year-on-year increase in our infrastructure. We have spent a lot on infrastructure because it's important for us, and that's the only way we can get more people to be here. This has impacted positively and yielded great results on our local economy. We are moving ahead. Another key success story for us has been the Red Gold project, which I mentioned. We are going to be partner with oil palm producers of Nigeria, in which we are going to have the national launch of this oil, the Red Gold project. Our proposed Ondo project today, we have so many foreign investors who have shown interest in that project. The only thing delaying us or holding us back, we have done all the studies. All the papers are already with the Ports Authority, and I think already passed to Ministry of Transport. All we are waiting for is port declaration. And this, I believe, is being held on because of our peculiarities in this country. And I don't run away for that fact, but I know that people have shown interest, and we believe that one day, because there's nothing wrong, like we port dotted 5, 6, 10 ports. Those who want to invest in port for as long as they're ready to put their money, what stops us? How does it affect us? Somebody says, when I build this port, the port is bankable, and he has done his own projection. What stops him? But we still have our bottleneck that we have to go to Nigeria. So in our determination to collaborate with the private sector, we determined, and I think a few of us who are here know about it, to resuscitate Okutukpa oil palm, PSC. It was not, people say moribund, well, maybe we can use that word, moribund plantation. Now generating its first billion. Its success is critical, and it has over the years been the largest private sector employer of labor in the state, with over 5,000 workers. That partnership has created many agropreneurs or millionaires as oil palm cultivation returns to its pride of place. Various subjects, various projects, like the resuscitation of the Olua glass, Ifon ceramic, are a result of the consistent development partnership with investors by our state. And I want to say that this is good for us, and there are many more that you can invest on. Work is set to commence the second, another cassava to ethanol project in the state. We have one in Ondo Industrial Hub, but the largest cassava to ethanol project in Nigeria is to take off imminently, very soon. This is being done in partnership with NNPC and OBAX. It's going to be in Ose with a potential for over 100,000 direct and indirect jobs at the minimum. And I think planting of cassava has started, but the other equipments are coming in very soon. So since our mission came on board in 2017, we also started mission to create jobs through industrialization, agriculture, and entrepreneurship. With the mandate given us on second term, we're determined to at least create more industries in the state, and investors are the ones that can do this with us. We have started a journey to redemption since 2017, and we believe that with partners in progress like those listening today, engaging with the state on the opportunities available, we're able to look back as our administration and conclude that we truly have redeemed the good people of Ondo State, redeemed being our agenda in our second term. I thank you all for listening.
Okay, thank you very much, and good afternoon, Your Excellency. I hope you can hear me clearly.
I'm hearing you, but let me just correct this thing. I'm not addressed. I wonder, I forgot. I'm not addressed as His Excellency.
Okay, sir.
Mr. Governor, simply.
Thank you very much for that point of correction. We'll note it going forward. Okay, and welcome again, Mr. Governor.
Huge pleasure.
And I will remain on existing protocols. My name is Anne Renu. We were introduced earlier. I'm the chair of the Nigeria-British Chamber of Commerce Advocacy Committee. I'm indeed honored and delighted to moderate this afternoon's session, which promises to be impactful, insightful, and interactive. Thank you very much for your presentation. We're aware of the fact that you have limited time. I will do my best to take as many questions, and so that the people can actually hear from you directly. On behalf of the patrons, the past presidents, and members of council, I want to thank all the esteemed guests online for joining. Please post your questions, comments in the Q&A icon. We will do our best to take as many questions as possible. And please be assured that any unanswered questions will be collated together with the responses and the recording of today's events, and it will be posted on the NBCC website, and I'm sure on the Ondo State website as well. Again, thank you, Mr. Governor. I would like to kick off with my first question. Following your attendance at the Nigeria Diaspora Direct Investment Summit last week in London, at which you showcased the various business opportunities and investments in Ondo, would like to hear from you. How easy is it to do business in Ondo State? I see Mr. Governor's screen has disappeared. I'm hoping. Yeah.
Okay, I think it's back.
Right, excellent. Yes. I've just gone straight to the question. Yes, I can hear you, sir.
All right. Do I take the questions one by one? It's all right. I can. Let me address this.
Let me read a couple of questions so that you can take them all together. It might be easier. So that's the first one. How easy is it to do business?
Three. Right. How easy?
Yes, that's the first one. The second question I'd like to sort of pose to you, under your leadership, you have described quite a number of laudable initiatives that the state has taken and is taking, everything from the bitumen project right through to the red gold, and of course, indeed, the Ondo projects. You know, you've described some of them, and all of this are tagged in your strategic vision, acronymed redeemed, you know, so it covers quite a number. I won't sort of go into the detail of that, but I think it'd be interesting if you can share with us how the NBCC members and indeed the audience and potential investors can actually participate in business, trade, and investment in Ondo. So how can they participate? You know, this is really an opportunity for people to interact and ask you that question. That's the second one, and I think maybe I should just pause on that and get you to respond as we begin to collect questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you. As I said in my speech, my remarks, as Ondo State today, we rank very high on ease of doing business. This is not done by us. There are set key factors that will be considered And in all the time, it's done by an independent body. And they come report at the federal level, and every state will get to know it and say, okay, this is your ranking on ease of doing business. Well, it's very easy to do business here because we have tried to remove all bottlenecks. For me, anybody who wants to do business in Ondo State is welcome. He's my friend. He does not, he doesn't even have to see me. I can tell you, most of those people are doing business here in Ondo State today. I don't know them. I only know them on the books. Because all they do is get to Ondipa, as I said, and from there, process whatever business, everything will be handled by Ondipa, including ensuring that they secure title documents for land that the state is prepared to provide. We have provided land for so many people. We have provided land for all the industrial parks. Today, about 4 of them that we have procured land for. We have our industrial park, we have Ondo Linyi, we have Menko, and we have Gwanju, Ondo Gwanju. So all of them, we ensure that we make sure that you come in and you're able to do something, and we will encourage you. So the government is here to encourage you. And when we had COVID, we gave tax reliefs to most of the companies that are here. So we interact, there is that interaction, there is that personal involvement, particularly of the governor and Ondipa in whatever they have to do here. So it's easy to do business. I just come in with your briefcase, don't bring your money in the first instance, with your briefcase, and by the time you have started, you can now bring in your money. So how to participate, and I think it's rolled in one. How do you participate in business in Ondo State? Yes, we have a number of models that we use. We have, for instance, the powder egg. Ondo State, that is powder industry. Ondo State has a stake, not only in terms of land, but financial stake in it. So we have that model. There is that way in which we can say we are having a project, and we also, as a state, put in our money. We participate with the investors. There are other instances in which the investor comes. I give an instance. There was an investor in palm oil, tropics. We went together, we were together in Thailand. All of us, the investor himself went with us to Thailand. We visited palm plantation and Korea and there. And he made up his mind he was going to invest in Ondo State. And I said to him, okay, we are going to give you land. That will be our equity participation. And he said, no, he's been to a number of states, and when they have a participation, that's what do I call it now? When the state has interest, they become a cog. And I said, you don't want the state to have any interest? He said, no. And he said, he's ready to pay for his land and let him run it himself. I said, well, that's another model. Some people have opted for that. Some have opted for the state just bringing land alone as its own equity. And we are working well together. So for me, the ease of doing business here is second to none, in that you have a secure atmosphere. As I said, we have layered of security, which include Amotekun, that will take any bold step to protect all investors that are here, whatever it takes. You protect the people of the state and protect the investors. And as I said, access here is very easy. Either by air, or you want to come by sea later, or you want to come by road. That is it.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. So I've heard quite a lot in there. Land provision, equity participation, tax reliefs and incentives, and an extremely easy and open environment to do business. A couple of questions for you, sir. Is there an industrial roadmap for power for the evolving industrial estate? in Ondo State. So it's really referring to your roadmap for power.
Right.
The next question is, how is Ondo State making use of the PPP models as an imperative to boost the Ondo State housing market? That's the second one. So it's the PPP,
market?
the public-private partnership models.
I know, I say something, you said market also.
As an imperative to boost the Ondo State housing market.
Housing, okay.
Yes,
I wanted to know.
Real estate housing, yes. And then the next one that I have for you is what steps are or will be taken to ensure the correct international certificates, which is necessary to export palm oil. Sorry, I'm reading off the real. Okay, so effectively, what do we have assurances that the correct international certificates will be available with regards to the export palm oil? A very, very interesting one. That's the Red Gold project. And the final one I'll just add in there is that what opportunities and platform exist for small scale foreign investors? You know, I know that quite a lot of deals were struck in London last week. But small scale investors, £1,000 to £10,000. It'd be interesting to know that we can convert that even for SMEs in Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, you mentioned about the industrial roadmap for power. We are not deluded. They don't suffer any delusion in the fact that we are clear that without power, a number of our industries are not going to gel. We will only just be on the drawing board and not happen. But because we already have that in our mind, we are lucky. We have the Omotosho power plant in Ondo State, in Ore. And that has led to having so many of our industrial park around Ore. The Ondoli Industrial Park had, with our efforts, we were with them, with TCN and others, to ensure that they were linked directly with the Omotosho plant. Today, they don't suffer problem of power. So that is part of it. And the major one for us in Ondo State is that we have in place a tri-fuel power plant. We have in place a tri-fuel power plant. We are almost concluding negotiation with a private firm on PPP basis. It was built by us. We have spent billions on it. It's not a power plant that anybody can just push aside. Several billions has gone to it, spent by Ondo State to build that power plant. And we're negotiating on PPP so that we get one of the companies that can run it. With them, they are even going to have legs, and even sell part of their to, I think what we have here is a Benin disco. So it's going to be prepared, they have more than enough, and it goes to all the industries. So, and the gas plan, we have keyed into the Nigerian gas plan, and gas is coming because that industry is going to use gas, and they're already laying pipe for the gas that will feed the power plant. So we have that roadmap clearly that everywhere that we are having these industries, cycling industries, we are trying to find a way to get power to them. Now, on the housing market, we are doing a few things on that, in that direction. And why did I say we are doing a few things in that direction? In that all, if not most, that's all we are doing is in collaboration with the Federal Housing Estate. There's an housing estate coming up in Ore. So I can say not all anyway, but let me say most of them, Ore, Akure area, some of them are, there are some in Ilara, where we have a university that some of the university workers and those who are farmers can stay. Some are coming up in other places. But as I said, those ones are in collaboration with the federal government. But we do have a housing estate, for instance, we are putting up in Irese, in Nakure here. There, it's going to be up to 500 housing units. And construction has started. People can go there and see. They have gone off the foundation level in over 100. So we have this, and that one is PPP. It's a land. Most of them are PPP, but the federal government zone is that, okay, you give your land, they build, you guarantee that they will get the market for those who will be there. So these are the things we try to do. Now, you mentioned the correct international certificate for our oil palm.
Yes.
We are not just as we are in cocoa, we are in oil palm, we are not novices. So we are not novice. Let me use it for that. Let me clear that word. We are not novice. The state is not novice. And those who are in it are not novices. They have been exporting the oil palm, have been exporting our cocoa. So they know the level and they have proper certification for what leaves the state. So it's not a new scheme. We are just trying to expand. We have, for instance, agro traders here in Ondo State. They do a lot of export of palm produce, a lot. So, and most of them are certified. So many people are here on the cocoa chain. A lot of, Ondo State is known for cocoa. So a lot of them export cocoa and they are weighed, they are graded. Anyway, we won't leave this country if not properly graded. So certification is guaranteed. We are not new in this business. And the last one you asked is about small scale foreign investors. Well, in our discussion, we in the diaspora program that was held in England, we made the case very clear that we're ready. Because at the end of the day, most of their concern was about Naira,
Yes.
the exchange rates.
Knowledge, yeah.
And we said, everybody is concerned about that. All of us are worried. But I now said to them, I said, it's not better for you to come now and earn more Naira so that you can do whatever you can do. And yes, because now Naira to your pound is about 600 and something. That means your pound will give you more money. Why don't you come? So that's what I felt. But they said, oh, what will buy and go? But we are trying to encourage them to come because most of them, we felt, can you aggregate? Can you have, maybe we can put it in a way, not where it could be cooperative, but a way in which you can aggregate so that there are few, I know that industries, cottage industries that survive. So, but if you see that you want to have just a cottage industry, all we have to assist you with is getting land that will provide for others. So you can have a cottage industry. So we encourage them to have cottage industries, but as I said, most importantly, we felt that, look, if we aggregate, be like an anchor, come back and invest heavily. What we need is heavy investment now that will change the whole landscape. So this is where we are, and I can assure you that small-scale foreign investors are welcome.
Fantastic. That's very helpful to note. And I'm sure for those who have asked the questions, we're taking notes and we'll obviously try and make direct contact. I'd like to invite our past president for the Nigeria-British Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Kayode Falowo. He has a question for you. Perhaps you would unmute your line. Excellent. Got you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Rinu. Nice to see you again. Mine is more like a comment.
Okay.
Your Excellency, I do know a bit about the state. Your Excellency, thank you again for joining us. Indeed, we are quite delighted. And I speak as an indigenous of Ondo State. We're quite delighted for about what we have seen in your government: forthright leadership, performance-driven, and people-oriented. You are indeed a representative of what we expect from our leadership in Nigeria. But I must say that a lot of these beautiful programs that you have enumerated, which I am aware of, but I dare say many people that are on this call may not be aware of. They're quite beautiful. I know what you have done in terms of ensuring that industrialize Ondo State, making it private sector driven, and indeed ensuring that our people receive the dividends of democracy. But I think there will be need for us to showcase all these achievements. And the MBCC, the platform that you are on, provides an excellent platform for you to do that because it's neutral. Anything we say is believed by the public because we know that we are accountable, and then we are also very conscious of the need to pass right information. So I would like to encourage the state to collaborate very closely with MBCC and ensure that going forward, we become your go-to platform, disseminating of all this laudable agenda. Thank you again for honoring us, and we look forward to closer relationship with Ondo.
Thank you. Well, it's not a question really, but let me just say this. Yes, I think KF is spot on when it comes to the advice on our collaboration with MBCC. We'll take that on and ensure that we work with you going forward. Although we do have some of your people who are here already. We have one of your past president, Dakpo Adelegon, who is here wanting to do a few things, and says he's going to use your platform to bring people to come, and we are looking forward to that too. And lastly, let me just say to KF, we have not believed that whatever we do as governor or as a government is a dividend of democracy. I think what our people need is dividend of good governance. Democracy, even in military autocracy, the tar road. So is that dividend of military autocracy? So all we need is good governance. And I think what we are trying to deliver on our people is dividend of good governance. Thank you.
That's excellent. And in fact, Mr. Governor, basically, one of the things we would also like to do when we work with you is to be able to track the performance of your cabinets, particularly in the areas where our members are involved and the public at large. And successful outcomes will be published, so that it will also give the incentive and the boost for greater investors as they proceed. I've got a few more questions, sir. So how can the youth in Ondo State participate in entrepreneurship, particularly agriculture? So this is pointing to the youth in agriculture. My second one, sort of closely following, how is Ondo State leveraging technology to grow the economy? How are we leveraging technology to grow the economy? So I recently read the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board has commenced activities to develop the oil and gas industrial park, some of those you mentioned earlier, under its Nigeria Oil and Gas Park scheme. So what is Ondo State's role in deepening Nigerian content in the oil and gas industry? I think it'd be interesting to sort of share your views in that regard. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate your first point you made. I felt it was like a comment, but I just wanted you to know that we have made up our mind that in this time around, this is our second coming. Everybody working for us here, all of us that are working here must be accountable. So we welcome MBCC to be part of evaluating all of us, including myself. What are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? So that we can have a report that we can look at. But on our own, we are setting up what we call PIMU, PIIMU, Project Implementation Monitoring Unit. So PIMU we are setting it up and we are taking we have had to go to EFDB, and they have sent experts here from the offices so that we determine how we do it in a most modern way using technology. So PIMO is going to be here to monitor all activities of commissioners and performance of most of their, because the issue is about contract, performance of our contract, we should be able to know it and go on the screen and just see it at a go. So just to support what you said, I feel that, yes, we welcome you and we'll let you know about PIMO. If there are areas you want to, you can assist us, we appreciate it. Now, your participation.
Yeah.
Thank you. Your participation, particularly in Agric. When we came in, we felt that, look, as I said, one of our slogan then was JMPPR. That is creation of job creation through industrialization, Agric, and etc. And we went at it with everything we had. And that was what led us to what we call youth on the ridges. We recruited several young people who are out of job to teach them farming and introduce them. Because immediately I got here, got people came in from IIT. We got a record of those who have become agripreneurs, who have made millions from Agric. We wanted to get many of our people to it. I can assure you, some stayed. Even when you gave them land, others went away. They felt farming is not what they are looking for. But it's the only way to get employed, whether anybody likes it or not. The employment rate at government for this white-collar job is almost nil. So we feel that, look, let us introduce you to Agric, you will be better off. Some have taken advantage of it. I know somebody who has a goat farm today is gone to South Africa and school to bring one Kalahari type of goat and co. Is making money. So for our youth, it's for me to say that, look, it's in their interest, if some of them are listening, to come and participate in this scheme, Youth on the Ridges, because land is there that will give you for free. That's all. But I pray that they will come. Now, on leveraging on the technology to grow the economy, there's no other way we can grow our economy today any longer. And what we have done, as we allow people to invest and invite most investors to be here, we monitor them. It's not that we go to their farm or to their industries to do all these things. We're able to use technology to monitor them and know what is happening. And that the only way to grow our economy is also to take advantage of, that's why I mentioned in my speech, of FUTA that is here, Federal University of Technology, Akure, that is here. And we are in collaboration with them. We have a tech hub that we are running with them. We've said to be more of state government tech hub. It's inside the campus where younger ones can develop their own, I forgot what to call this, but they are there to work on technology in particular. And we are having tech hub in our Polytechnic and Olusegun Agagu University of Technology. Those two are yet to come up, but the tech hub in Akure is working. And today, a few people have developed some, this term, I keep forgetting, that you do in computer. I don't know whether anybody can help me there. But so,
no, I'm trying, software, I was trying to, but continue, I'm sure we'll get it.
Software, developing software.
So, okay.
For many things, because there was a time I went there, somebody said develop software in which you can buy food. I said, on computer, is that how? how will I see the food? Won't I see what I want to buy? But say, well, it's another software that they have developed, and they went somewhere and they won. I'm shocked, but it's all right. That's what comes out of this new technological development. So we are leveraging on technology for many things. And you have asked about Nigerian content in oil. We are part of this, and I think majorly all of us the oil business today is more of federal. They dictate the rules, and you can't blame them. I'm not saying that's what we have now. Until there's proper restructuring, maybe the state will have a part to play. So what's that part? The only way we are able to play a part on Nigerian content in oil is through the Governors Forum.
Okay.
Nigerian Governors Forum. And our 10 meetings, all of us will discuss it. We have committee on it and and advise federal government, this is what we want, this is what it should be. It's the only way we're able to be involved, to be very serious. But maybe you say about employment, a number of times we don't have most of those oil industries here. We are oil producing, but they produce from our off our shores. It's not inland. So most of them just take our oil. They tell us this, the volume of oil they have taken, this is what is due to us. So they are not, there's no oil company that is present here in the state that we can say want to monitor and ensure about this Nigerian content. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, sir. I'm just going to invite our sponsors, Mr. Abubakar Suleiman, sponsors from Sterling Bank, to give us a few remarks. Thank you.
I'm sorry, before that, can I take my leave?
Okay, sir.
Mr. Governor, you may leave, sir.
Thank you, Abubakar.
You have the permission of the citizens.
I appreciate you people. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Where we standing for me now. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Boye, you take over.
Yeah, Johnny message as you go, sir.
Thank you very much. Well, I guess Mr. Governor has done justice to what we invited him for. And today it's about Ondo State. So I don't want to spend too much time talking about Sterling. All my conversation about introducing us is to enable those who are here today to find a way to work with Ondo State. So our focus would be, what can we do together? I have observed that a lot of people go on to states with a plan on how the state can spend money. And I've always advised that the states know how to spend their money. That is not what they're looking for. What you could do with the state is show them ways that they can generate money, or show them ways that they can create employment or grow the economy. And one way to do that is to always arrive at the state with your plan fully formed and your project fully financed. And to that extent, Sterling Bank has become a major partner, specifically in the sectors of our focus that we call the hard sector. And those sectors are healthcare, education, agriculture, renewable energy, and transport. And if you listen to the governor's conversation very well, in every one of those sectors, the state has an interest in driving investment. Clearly, healthcare is, we do not need to talk about that. There is no way you can have any of the other sectors that he has talked about if you don't have basic primary healthcare or access to secondary and tertiary healthcare. And what we've done is to provide support for people ranging from primary healthcare centers to hospitals, to specialist hospitals, to the tech platforms that are offering healthcare, including platforms like Tremendum that does telemedicine and has become very popular during COVID. Of course, our investment in education is one area where, again, the state would require help, especially if you consider the fact that when you go into tertiary education, where the total number of students today in tertiary education are about 1% of the Nigerian population. And that is not sufficient to cover the needs of industry or the needs of the service sector. So again, we are a ready partner for that. We have partnered quite a few people. And if you want to go to Ondo State to do something in education, please reach out to us. The biggest one, obviously, is agriculture. We think of ourselves as one of the primary financiers of agriculture in Nigeria. We're probably the only bank today that has more than 10% of its portfolio, of its lending portfolio to agriculture. But beyond that, we are the only bank today that runs a national farmers radio, which has enabled farmers across the country to access information. We also have held the Agri Summit Africa, which brings together people from across Africa to discuss agriculture. I don't want to take too much time because I'm sure that there are a few more questions I would like to answer.
Yeah.
But what I'm rounding up to say is that please, if you are looking to go to Ondo State, go with your funding fully figured out. That way, Mr. Governor will be better predisposed to supporting the project that you have brought. So thank you very much. And thanks to our partners.
Thank you, Mr. Bubakar Suleiman. Very helpful publication there. It's funding for healthcare, tertiary education, and agriculture. Appreciate that. So I will just continue with you. Mr. Boye Oyewumi, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. Great to see you. And it was interesting that we had a chat yesterday, and we have connection dates back many years ago. So it's good to see you physically. Right. So let me just sort of, let's talk about strategic investments, and with particular reference to the recently published Book of States by the Nigeria Investment Promotion Council. It showcases Ondo as one of the top 10 states for dealing with construction permits and enforcing contracts. So outline to us how investors can actually tap into this, the opportunities that you describe, including with some reference to what the governor has mentioned in terms of priority investments in Ondo State. Thank you. The second question I'd like to take there is, so what is the step-by-step process for investing in Ondo State? I know that the governor has mentioned that it's easy to do business in Ondo. Just take your suitcase, come with your ideas. They would offer the equity, but will it be useful? Because I've just looked at some of the charts and I can see there's a theme there. People want to know, how do we actually get into the state to do business? So companies looking to come, the next point is companies looking to come and invest in silicon, I presume, and mining in Ondo State. What's the process again involved in getting started with natural resources? That's another area that we would like to look at. I'll leave you with those 3 questions and thoughts. Thank you. I hope I have you. Excellent.
Yes, you have me. You have me. I just wanted to thank you very much. There are many questions in one in which you've asked. The first thing, it's in Ondo State under this administration, we believe that government is a continuum, which is why I must tell you that all the contracts that we had in place when this government came have been continued with. None of them have been discarded at all, because government is a continuum. That is quite interesting, because when you talk of ease of doing business, those are the kind of things that give investors confidence that if they go into a contractual agreement with you, you would recognize and you would stay faithful. In addition to that, we have a governor who is a senior advocate of Nigeria. So he knows the implication of people going to court. So we don't have a P&I situation on our hands. So we've been quite consistent with that. If we need to review certain contracts, we will do, but we have not gone out to cancel, to dump things. Even if you look at our logo, the share logo share, that is something that we inherited, which we found to be suitable. The colors of the state, there's a consistency in government. So I think that answers that point. So we're mindful of that. We don't believe that the past is necessarily to be done away with. You extract what is useful and you run with it. In terms of construction permits and stuff like that, we've fast-tracked the process that is involved in that. And that emanated from the creation of ONDIPA, that is the Ondo State Development and Investment Promotion Agency, which I chair, and I'm the vice chair and the governor is the chair, to make sure that investors do not have to pound the corridors of government agencies in search for permits or anything whatsoever. So we midwife, we handhold every investor, even from the airport, we go and pick up, bring you to our offices, help you with your hotel bookings. You might actually think you're going on holiday with kind of pampering that will give you the kind of corporate hospitality that we introduce into development and investment sector of the state. So we put our best leg forward. And one of the ways we did that is to have to make sure that you're connected to the global economy, which is Lagos, in half an hour. So most times we advise investors to fly in, which is half an hour from Lagos, 45 minutes from Abuja. So, and you are met at the airport, we are settled down, the MOUs are sorted out, and then we see you off. So those are things that are strategic. They enhance your ease of doing business. They give you the feel good factor. See, investors most times when they come, first thing they want to find out is this a secure environment? Do I like the look and feel of these people? Are they acculturated to investment, or are they adverse to investment? So all of those things are strategic investment decisions that it's almost natural to us now, once we've had this one-stop shop, and which is one of the reasons why the last report had us as #1 in the Southwest. So there's strategic things, and the DFID and those who bring out the report, we have no influence whatsoever. It's just a case of what you garbage in, garbage out. What you put in, you get at the end of the review when they do it at the end of the year. Now, in terms of enforcement, we've had no need to enforce, because you don't enforce what you have not cancelled. you understand? We had no need to go to court with anybody. If there are issues with any MOU, we sit down and we negotiate it. But most times we just go along with it, except it's onerous to the state. But even in 1 or 2 instances I can remember, we just renegotiated and encouraged them to move ahead, because the last government has gone into this contract with good intentions. So there's no need to really throw them away. Step-by-step process, I've already answered that. From Mondipa, from the airport to the airport, we are involved. And our MOUs come out in a couple of weeks. We have a lot of investors coming in. We're also equipped now to distill window shoppers from real investors. Because a lot of people, because we're an investment destination, come more in hope and aspiration. But like the MD said, Worker said, those who come with, bankable feasibilities, they are fast-tracked immediately, because the agency is set up in a way where you can distill window shoppers to those who are ready to go like tomorrow. And some of the window shoppers eventually do come right if you handhold them long enough and help them in packaging, because at times a lot of them have a lot of passion, and we employ passion, because if you have a lot of passion, you always attract capital. So those ones who we see have a lot of passion and they mean well, we try and link them up with finance so that they can bat their projects. That's what has happened with the not Oluwa Glass, the Ifon Ceramic, where the gentleman who is involved has passion that is brewing at the seams, but didn't quite have the finance. But over a couple of 2 years now, going 3, finally he's found good funding partners, and that project is set to commence. So that's the kind of role that we play to make sure that people are happy and they invest in the state. I don't know if I missed out on any of your questions. I think
I think you did. I'm conscious of time, so we're just going to sort of round off. I would sort of ask this personal question. So I recently took a holiday in Ondo. Don't ask me where. Courtesy of some very proud Ondo friends of mine. We took a flight from Lagos. Within an hour, we were in Akure. We stayed at the Heritage Continental, and we did a tour of Akure, Ondo town, visited the Kogosi Springs, Indori Hills, and some historic sites. I asked this question honestly. It was a great experience for me, a Nigerian in Nigeria. What are we doing to promote tourism and restore our heritage sites?
I think that's a very good question. And KF has actually alluded to something, that we are probably shy in Ondo State talking about what we have and what we're doing. It's a ethos of this government that we don't want to conduct business on the pages of newspaper, but then results need to be exhibited. People need to know what you have. If you had gold in my room and I don't put it on the shop window, nobody would know. So that's one of the takeaways from this webinar, that we have to really do something about the opportunities that exist in Ondo and showcase them. Many investors have come in and said, oh, this looks like the Caribbean, because of the calmness, the serenity of the place, the infrastructure because I'm sure by the time you went to Ondo, you would not go off-road within the state. It's not possible, because we understand the trajectory between 1% increase in infrastructure, and 1% increase in GDP. So there are a lot we can do. In the tourism sector, we have a lot of historic sites. Some of them are even UNESCO certified, but we need to do a lot more. The truth is the next phase of development agenda where we've discussed it, that we need to do a lot more for our tourism. Now that we're connected to the global economy, which is Lagos by 30 minutes by air, 45 minutes to Abuja, we're in a position now where we can drive tourism. I actually stay in the Heritage, so that's quite a nice hotel. It's not the only one. The hospitality industry in Ondo State has gone up tremendously because you have 2,000 flights a month coming into Ondo State. What does that tell you? And they're not coming empty-handed. They're coming with their cards and with their cash. So, but we need to showcase Ondo as an investment destination, but also as a tourism hotspot. That connection needs to be made. If I sit here and tell you that we figured it all out in one day, no. But that's one of the takeaways. We've had those discussions where we're looking at investors to sort of put cable cars in Idonre Hill, there are a lot. Okay, Maria is a hotbed for Catholics. It's a place of religious pilgrimage. They come there every year in tens of thousands. And so you can imagine if that is well structured. So but all these things are opportunities for investors, not necessarily for the state. We can only provide the enabling environment. We can do some hand-holding, some midwifing, but the opportunities for investors. If you had a guest house or two in Okebaria where 10, 20,000 people come every year, you'll be oversubscribed. But the point is, maybe we have not made a good job of actually telling people that, look, there are gaps here that will represent opportunities for you to tap into. So those are some of the takeaways, because I've been listening and say, okay, fine, I see where we're going, but we need to sort of showcase the areas we actually need investors to come in. So because our greatest resource is not our mineral resources, it's our human resource. So we have to use it well for the points you have made. Thank you.
Absolutely. And we do look forward to evaluating the targets and the scorecard next year, as we've spoken to Mr. Governor about, and we'll be happy to work with the project implementation monitoring unit. On that note, I want to say thank you to you as I welcome and hand over to Mr. Akinyo Shutoki for the closing remarks and votes of thanks. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Renu. Without a doubt, that has gone very, very well. It's been a good afternoon, well spent. My task is the easy one, and is to thank everyone. Let me start by thanking Mr. Governor, Arakuni Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, who has done a great job exhibiting Ondo State and what it has. I must thank Mr. Boye Oyewumi for all he did to put this together and for supporting Mr. Governor. I must thank our President and Chairman of Council. Also, I must thank the moderator, Anne. Anne, you've done a great job. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank our patrons and our council members for their support all the time. Our sponsors, Sterling Bank, I must thank the MD, Mr. Abubakar Suleiman, for his remarks and for sponsoring the event. Sterling Bank, thank you so much. I must thank all the Ondo State officials. Thank you for supporting Mr. Governor. We appreciate the good work that you are doing. Now I must thank all the distinguished ladies and gentlemen on the call today. Without you, there will have been no webinar. I must thank the programs committee for the good job that you are doing. Please keep on keeping on. Lastly, let me thank the NBCC headquarters for always getting it right. You guys make us proud. Thank you so much for putting together what I'll call a very informative webinar. Before I go, I'd like to share some of the programs, some of the upcoming events that we have for November. November is packed, but then at the NBCC, that is what we do. We put programs that are educative and that add value. The NBCC Business Advocacy Roundtable on building a coherent monetary policy framework holds on Tuesday, October 26 at 12 p.m. That is one webinar you must not miss. It is sponsored by the Bank of Industry and the BCG. The third edition of the African EduTech Conference is scheduled to hold on Thursday, October 28 at 10 a.m. That is also sponsored by the Stanbic IBTC Bank, Stanbic IBTC. The first in the series of NBCC investment webinars, NBCC Investment Series, holds on November 4, Thursday, November 4 at 2 p.m. We are expecting Mr. Alex Oko, Director General of the Bureau of Public Enterprises, to talk about the opportunities, the investment and concession opportunities in Nigeria, promoting public-private partnerships. We would like to see you, and we look forward to see you. That event is sponsored by ProShare, okay? And also, let me mention the webinar by the Construction and the Real Estate Group of NBCC on efficient tax management for real estate development. That comes up on Thursday, November 11 at 11 a.m. Let me also mention that the Friday, December 3rd, come Friday, December 3rd, we are having the presidential inauguration dinner. That is an event you cannot afford to miss. Our 17th president, Mrs. B.C. Adeyemi, president and chairman of council, will be inaugurated on that day. And we have coming up as the chairman, Mr. Afolabi Cardoso, Mr. Olayemi Cardoso, I beg your pardon, Mr. Olayemi Cardoso. And also we expect the guest speaker to be with us, Mrs. Dr. Mobola Johnson. So it's going to be a great time. We'd like to have you join us at that event. On that note, let me thank our sponsors again for doing us the honor of paying the bill this afternoon. You want to become a member, please visit our website, and we'll be so glad to have you. Ladies and gentlemen, follow us on social media. The details are right in front of us. It's been a pleasure having you with us this afternoon. My name is Akin Oshuntoki. Thank you very much for coming, and we look forward to seeing you at